Hello and welcome to this very special edition podcast on Safer Internet Day. My name is Rebecca and I'll be the moderator for today's proceedings. I'm very excited to announce that I have a very versatile and diverse panel that I'm sitting with today, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves shortly. But what you need to know is that they are veterans in this industry, so this is their area of expertise. That's why they were all invited. But before we get into the introductions, I wanted to impress on everybody the specific importance of this day and why this discussion is actually happening, because it might sound obvious to those who aren't aware, but there are technical aspects to it. So for those who aren't aware, this is a global initiative and it brings together industry players, government, regulators, schools, young people, etc. And in Uganda, we are currently witnessing an increased internet penetration and reliance on various digital platforms for an array of reasons. So against this background, there's an ardent need for more informed, balanced conversations around online safety, digital responsibility, and shared accountability. And with me today are people who are going to delve further into this. So without any further ado, I'll allow the introductions to happen. And I think we'll start with the lady because chivalry isn't dead. So take it away.
Amen to that, Becky. Amen to that. My name is Fiona Kemijisha. I am, I'm many things. I like to start with a servant of God. That's truly who I am. I create content, something that I really enjoy to do. I run a business called Karma Digital, where we're in the business of content, teaching organizations how to show up online, create meaningful presence online. And I'm a couple of other things also. I'm one of those. I'm an MC, I'm a moderator, and like 3 other things.
Everything basically.
One of them ones, okay?
Right.
One of them ones. And looking forward to the conversation.
Nice. And to my left.
Hello. My name is Magaiva Mugamba. I'm a son of the soil as well. I'm a lawyer by training, and I specialize in telecommunication law. So issues like data protection, I handle a lot of legal advisory for the Uganda Communications Commission. And it's really important that we're having this discussion regarding the Safe Internet Day. I think it was about that time we actually had this candid conversation. So I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you so much, MacGyver. And gentlemen, at the end.
Am I really at the end? Okay. Hi, my name is Jerome Okot, son of the soil as well. I'm not like MacGyver, who might be mistaken for American. I work with Milima Security and Milima Cyber Academy. We do cybersecurity consulting, but also very much passionate about teaching cybersecurity. And it's on that note that I'm super excited to be here to bring in the element of cybersecurity education into the conversation of safer internet. I'm glad we speak about safer internet. We know it's safe, but how may we make it safer? So I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Thank you so much, Jerome. So there you have it. That's our panel. Exciting. So I'm just going to throw a question out there for all of you to answer. I think we'll start with MacGyver, then we'll proceed to Kemi, then we'll go to Jerome. So from your professional experiences, what does safer internet mean to you in practical terms?
I think it's a 3-tier approach, because you're talking about, one, what is the internet, who uses the internet, who misuses the internet, and how should the internet be used in a proper manner. So you have children who use the internet, you've got their parents who use the internet, you've got those who are not on your side in using the internet. Those are the hackers. So when you talk about safe internet usage, the question is, are the children using the internet responsibly? Are the hackers who are trying to use the internet in an irresponsible manner finding barriers to avoid that activity? Are the parents playing a responsible role in bringing up their children, knowing how to use the internet in an ethical manner, not just to benefit them as children, but the wider community?
Thank you very much, MacGyver. Kemi?
So I'm coming obviously from a background mostly of social media. So that's like the lens through which I'm seeing the whole thing. When I think about digital safety, it's not just, I don't just think about like the technical aspects, which are important, passwords, all of that. But I kind of think about it, like when I think about even for just me personally, it's there's identity, there's access, and there's well-being. I think about those three things. You know, how do I protect my identity? How do I protect access? How do I protect my mind? Because now there's no going back. Like, the internet has come, social media has come, there's no going back. So how do I exist in this world where all of these things are, and still protect all of the things I am? Because there's an overload, like anything else, you know, it's got pros and cons. So there's this overload. There's so many risks, burnout, misinformation, like a million other things. So how can you protect yourself and the people you love, you know, your children, the people that depend on you to give them information, and people who influence your buying culture or your politics, I dare say, you know, and all of that. So yeah, that's what comes to mind for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kemi. Jerome?
All right. This to me is how I usually tell people when they ask me, what do you do? I say, hi, I'm a hacker. Yes, you'll freak out, but I want you to know that hackers are out there. There is good hackers and there is bad hackers. So I want people to know that the people who actually make a living out of securing the internet. Now, when we bring it down to the context about the day, for me, it's more about proactive cyber defense. Like, how might we take on a more proactive approach to securing ourselves and our assets and the people around us, and not just living it up to a reactive mentality. At the end of the day, I want to see how are we bringing safer internet or practices that secure our internet to become more of a culture and not just something that we wake up to once we hit by a cyber attack or something. So yeah, for me, that's what really I bring to the discussion. And for me, that's what safer internet means to me. How do we incorporate the culture of cybersecurity in our day-to-day lives?
Thank you so much, Jerome. So I want to stay with you for a second. You are the Chief Executive Officer of Milima Cyber Academy. I hope I got that right.
I'm not exactly the chief executive, but yes, I work with Milima Cyber Academy.
Okay,
I'm a director, but not a CEO.
Apologies for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a very pivotal player in this sector. You have leadership in digital skills development, cyber awareness, and responsible technology use.
Right.
So you definitely offer some very important perspectives, like you've already mentioned, on building safer and more resilient online ecosystems. So the focus in your specific areas, cybersecurity skills, digital literacy, preparedness. From your work training cybersecurity professionals, how prepared are Ugandans to navigate online risks beyond basic ICT skills?
All right, thank you very much for the question. So the truth is, I'm sure very many people out here use, let's say, Border or FARS, whatever preferred means of commute that's much quicker in Kampala if that's available. Now, what do you notice? We have thousands of guys using smartphones, right? Now, let's break it down. When you're out here in Kampala and want to communicate with your people in the village, and it's too hard, tedious to get over there. Let's say you want to go to Koboko. It's going to take you 12, 15 hours. So you're going to think, what's the easiest way? Now we have the internet. Get the old woman a smartphone and show her how to do a video call. Long story short, very many people are using mobile devices, yeah? You hinted about the penetration of mobile devices. UCC is doing a great job extending connectivity to the most remote areas. And what does that mean for us? It means there's lots of people interconnected. What I observe is there is lots of adoption of the technology. There is mobile penetration. There's a lot of use of the internet. Even better still, there's a lot of use of mobile money. I'm sure very many people prefer to use mobile money than their bank accounts. That's what I observe. So a lot is going on. A lot of people are trying to adopt technologies. They're using it. It's getting more and more convenient. It's making life easy. But the idea around security is the last thought. It's not just about the users, even the people who are playing the tech space, the developers. Recently, I've been teaching my students of web application security, and different software engineers telling them, shift security to the left. People would rather develop a tool, roll it out, and then they'll be like, oops, where's the security?
Right.
Someone would rather obtain technology, all the devices that they want to use, get them to work for them. Then they're hit and they're like, oops. So there's lots of adoption of this tech, but very little concern with regards to cybersecurity until somebody is hit. So that's what I observe, and I think there is quite some work that needs to be done there, yeah.
Thank you so much, Jerome, on that very comprehensive submission. I want to move to Kemi for a second. Fiona, Kemi, what do you prefer to actually be called?
Anything is fine.
Anything. So Fiona, I'm a personal fan. I follow you on your various social media platforms, and I'm a fan of all the gentlemen as well on the platform. Don't look at me like that, MacGyver. You are an experienced content creator, influencer, and you have real-world experience. You offer very interesting and unique perspective on how someone can navigate challenges on the internet on the basis of your experience and using platforms responsibly while simultaneously influencing people positively. And I can say this from personal observation.
No pressure, right? No pressure.
No pressure, no pressure. So the focus for you is on online behavior, influencing. I feel like as though the word influencer gets thrown around a lot, and you see a lot of people with many followers on the internet, and not all of them are influencing per se, but I can categorically say that you, as Fiona Kemi, you do have a very positive impact on your platforms. So as a content creator, how do you see online platforms shaping attitudes, behavior, and decision-making, especially among the youth, young people, Gen Z, as we call them?
That's one of those questions where like, how much time do we have? Like, what do we do? There's so much that young people, like if we're talking about like, if I can even include children, preteens, adolescents, they're experiencing a much different world than we did in our time as millennials. It's very different because the algorithms now are shaping. When we were like earlier, when we had just started out, MacGyver is my contemporary. When we had just started out on the social media thing on Facebook was just a reflection of us. Like it was a reflection of what we knew, what we liked, what our culture was like. But now the algorithms are actually shaping pop culture, shaping our thoughts, shaping how we dress, shaping all of this stuff far more than it did back. Like back then, I think it was like Teens Club was what was influencing us. You get me? Do you guys know what Teens Club is? Anyway, so now, you know, young people are bombarded almost with like just all of this stuff. And I mean, comparison is a thing that has always been there. We've always been comparing ourselves. But again, we were comparing to like Teens Club, the people around you and your family. Like that's it. And now it's just, it's easy for young people to think it's commonplace to maybe dress provocatively at a certain age, or to go to vacation in Santorini is a normal thing that everybody's just doing, you know? And so I think that it has placed them in at like a really delicate time, and it's also a delicate time for parents because they're having to figure out how do we make sure that young people are safe in this place that's not going anywhere. There's only so much restriction you can do. These are things they have access to in so many ways. And so I think that there becomes a question of, you know, digital literacy, because right now it's no longer just, can you use a computer? Do you know what it means to exist in a digital landscape safely, right? When he was speaking, I was thinking about, you know, me have been hacked before, by the way. Bad hacked, not good hacked. I have been bad hacked before, and that was crazy, okay? And you know, do young people know that, you know, you can be hacked in this way and be blackmailed? You know, when I was hacked, man, they wanted money, then they wanted nudes, like they'll ask you for everything, do you know? And it's not like, these are just normal things now. Yeah, like you're just there and they hack you and they ask you for nudes. And yet that's a place that has personal information, financial information. There's so much now that our social media, there's so much delicate data that is on there. And I think that financial literacy itself has to grow to fit this social media age. We can't just be like, we are going on social media for vibes. You know, the creator cannot afford to not be verified because there's like an extra level of protection for you. And that's a place you make money. That's a place, like you do too much there to just be on vibes, to just open an account with a random email and that's it, without two-factor authentication and all of these things. So it's just different, and we have to evolve to enable young people now in this new world that they're existing in to be safe, to be conscious about what they consume. Because man, I mean, just look at YouTube. You open YouTube, they're watching something safe and then a random ad about God knows what. is on the screen.
Right. Yeah.
So there's just we have to evolve in how we're doing the literacy, but also I think it will then apply to parenting or teaching even, because now teaching involves digital aspects in some areas. In more urban places it involves that. So what kind of access are we giving them, and do they know that when they go in there's a way to be, or are we just letting them scroll and search and do all the things they want at great risk to their minds? Yeah.
You know, recently I was watching the news, and I think it's in Spain. They banned social media for 16 and under, which I think was a really good initiative on the government's part to preserve these young minds. When it comes to Uganda, still on that point before I move to MacGyver, who do you think should take the lead in addressing this issue, and where does shared responsibility come in?
Oof. I mean, we can't, of course, the regulator is important. UCC is an important part of that. I think that as we consider what the future is for social media, specifically with regard to young people, we have to take on a collective responsibility. Of course, a regulator is very important because there are things a regulator can do that I can't do as an individual. There's access they have that I do not have. Of course, all of these things trickle down to the individual and how the individual manages. So one of the things we like to talk about a lot at Kama Digital is creator ethics. Because the social media age just kind of happened, it wasn't like we're going to social media school to become creators. It was just like this open platform and you can become whatever you want to become. And so because of that, there is in many ways a lack of consciousness about what it means to wield influence, however small it is. There may be you guys, there may be 100 guys, over 50 guys. Those 50 guys are listening to you. Maybe they're getting their news from you. Maybe, they could be getting such critical things from you, but do you know you have a responsibility? Do you know that you have to verify? You're literally like where we are now. The creator is like a side journalist, but not trained. And so there has to be intentional, imparting of that knowledge. You know what? People are coming to you for information. Do you verify your sources? Do you double check everything? Do you know that your audience includes children? Or have you made, have you structured maybe if your content is more for an adult audience, have you actually created that gate, if I can call it that, where people of a certain age can't access you? And so in a way, there is definitely a communal aspect. We can't run away from it, but I think even at that higher level, there are definitely questions to be asked around, I mean, now that it's happening so much more around the world, we're seeing it in the news every now and then. This country has banned this, the other country has banned that. I know, I can't remember if it was China, where they passed a law that, creators that were specifically creating in niche areas like medicine or had to actually be qualified professionals. I think that's actually really important because right now we're also seeing people offering counseling services without any actual quality. So who are you counseling, my friend? Who are we counseling? And so it's just, it's such a risk to the people that you are serving and not serving well. And even then that also it jeopardizes what the creator community looks like. Are we starting to look like people who are just looking for money at any cost? Is there money? I'll come. Is there money? I'll come. No, can I give you something of true value? Am I a meaningful contributor in that area of life that I have said I'm going to come and talk about? So for sure, there's it's got tiers. There is a responsibility at the top that comes all the way down to me and you.
Thank you so much, Kemi. MacGyver, moving on to you. You work for the Uganda Communications Commission. Your role is extremely pivotal, especially in this digital age that we're currently existing in. You are the manager, data protection and legal advisory at the Uganda Communications Commission. So like I already mentioned, you are a very critical player in this entire discussion and the sector at large. So your focus area is essentially data privacy, legal safeguards, rights and obligations. So I want to ask MacGyver, from a data protection and legal standpoint, what are the most common risks Ugandans face when sharing personal information online?
Thank you, Rebecca. Just to digress a bit, I'm glad Kemi mentioned that 20 years ago, if you recall, there was Facebook. And
still exists,
it still
apparently.
exists, yeah, apparently. And people would actually write whatever they wanted on their walls.
Mhm.
People vibed on walls. People didn't have to go into the DMs. People would really talk. And people would relay information. At that
Right.
time, no one knew that, you know what, I'm disclosing personal information.
Right.
They didn't care. But it's evolved now. So at this stage, you ask yourself, what do you consider personal information that's going to be shared? So people don't know that. When you talk about personal information, you're talking about information that can relate to an individual, that can relate to you, Rebecca, that can relate to you, Kenny. It could be your name, it could be your age, it could be your address, it could be your sex. As long as it relates to you as personally identifiable information, that's the first point of call to know that this is personal information. So back to your question. It's very easy to share this information, but the ripple effect is vast. So I'll give you about 4 or 5 things. One, there's what they call a mosaic effect. A mosaic effect is you have shared information online, someone picks up that information, someone feeds into that profile, and someone pretends they are you. When you do that, you're susceptible to attacks.
Right.
It's not you, but just because you've shared that information. Secondly, when you share your location data, not everyone is on your side. Not everyone has your best interests at heart. So your location information is out there. I mean, you'll be subject to attacks. Could be a thief, could be anyone, really. Secondly, if you notice, thirdly, if you notice on our social media sites, there are always prompts by a lot of these marketing companies, telemarketing. Now you've put your information out there. You've put your name, your sex, I don't know what. So it forms an algorithm. That creates a way for telemarketers to approach you, to send you unsolicited information. Sometimes you don't even want this information, and you ask yourself, how do they know I want this information? That's a very big risk, but that originates from you, Rebecca, because you're putting your information out there. There are issues of phishing. I'm sure you've all heard about phishing scams. Your information is there, your pictures are there, your name, etc, etc. All someone has to do is use those details, create an environment as if they are a bank, and try and scam you. They will ask you for details, for you to borrow money, and it passes off as if it's you.
Right.
And yet technically it has nothing to do with you. The same thing happens with consent. You've not given consent, yes, but people are able to obtain that information online. So really, that information that you share, please know that information now is the new gold.
It's a currency.
It's a currency. It's everything now. So like every currency, either it will devaluate or it will appreciate. It's on you. If you put it out there, the value of your currency will go down.
Thank you, MacGyver. Very insightful, very food for thought. Jerome, I want to come to you. MacGyver mentioned something interesting. We see, I don't know if you guys are privy to the show Catfish on MTV. Catfishing, like MacGyver has already mentioned, is a very scary thing. It's even become fatal. Like, there are people who've lost their lives as a result of being catfished. Jerome, with your experience of cybersecurity, what are the most common gaps you observe between using digital tools and using them safely and responsibly? If I may add to that, how do you deter the people who are utilizing other people's profiles and their personal information to catfish? I don't know if the question is being posed properly, but how do you deter the scammers, essentially?
First of all, it's a very difficult thing to do, because you're not in control of the person who is doing whatever they're doing for whatever purpose they're doing it, yeah? They might be paid to do it,
Right.
and they have all the resources at their disposal.
Right.
How are you going to catch that guy? He has $1,000 a day budget to do whatever he's doing, plus a bonus once he succeeds in getting Rebecca's noodles. For instance, sorry.
Never.
Yeah.
End-to-end encrypted.
For instance, like Kevin said, people are asking for your what?
I knew.
I'll call them noodles. So it's really hard to deter those people. The best thing that we have to do is we have to play in the defense. MacGyver says, and he mentioned it towards the end of his submission, that if your information is too much out there, it's less value. But then that which you're trying to hide is the more valuable one, is the one that people pay a ton for. I can't recount how many people have come to me to study cybersecurity just to learn how to hack WhatsApp, so they can hack
That is
their
crazy.
partner's WhatsApp.
That's
Someone is
insane.
going to pay as much as they can. So you cannot really control whoever is trying to do that. But all you can do is play in the defense.
Right.
Be ready, be proactive,
Right.
and also put in place the necessary measures that you have to protect yourself and the people around you. We usually say you are as secure as the people around you. Yeah, we are as secure as our neighbor. If we're all in a network right now, on the same network, using the same network, let's say we're using our computers. I'll give you a little story. A lady had to submit her, dissertation. She'd worked on it for a very long time. Then there was this tool that she needed to download in order to finish up her work and then submit it the next day at 10 a.m. So she's trying to do the work, downloads this tool, and then the work gets corrupted. Okay, it gets encrypted, yeah? Then she thinks, well, my PC is acting up. Then she goes home and borrows the husband's computer. I really have this thing that I need to submit, and I'm here to. The deadline is tomorrow, 10 a.m. The husband is a cybersecurity expert.
Okay.
But then because it is urgent and it's emotional, I mean, who are you? Why are you not supporting your partner?
Right.
So it's like, oh, hey, there you have it. She uses the computer, goes to the same site, downloads the same tool. That guy's computer also gets encrypted. And she's like, damn it, what do I do? It's not working as well. She goes to the office, same story. She gets one person's computer. What I'm talking about is a ransomware attack.
Right.
So it just gets encrypted, she can't use it, things are not opening, she chills it. Gets another computer. So when she gets to the office, she gets onto a network. It logs into a computer which is on a network, and this ransomware spreads across the entire network.
Wow.
Could she have prevented it? Yes, by not trying to get another computer to do the same thing. Could she have prevented it? Yes, if she had known what a ransomware is, and she would have, So you realize that she wasn't in control of the attacker's motives,
Right.
but she kept falling for it because she didn't know what to do.
Right.
There you have it. You can't really control what the other person is trying to do with your data or whatever they're trying to achieve. But the best you can do is play in the defense. Now, let's look at the gaps. Why, for example, from this story, why do you find people falling prey to such attacks? The assumption of security. Oh, I have an iPhone, I won't be hacked. Come
Right.
on. I have a database with 1,000 exploits that can crack your iOS devices instantly. It's accessible, open source. All it takes is somebody who knows how to do what needs to be done. It's just that this knowledge is not so common, so that's why we're teaching people. Yeah, and B, I'm not teaching non-ethical hackers. We're teaching ethical hackers. So we tell people that when you learn these skills, please use them for good. Hack for good, yeah. But the truth is, many people say Uganda is just playing at the mercy of the hackers because people are really interested. Some people, you look at people play very carelessly on the internet and you just sympathize, yeah? So there is the assumption of security other than actual practice of security. Now, people do not want to deal with security because it's inconveniencing. I'm going to tell you, hey, buy a VPN, pay for the VPN. You're gonna say, come on, but there's lots of them. Why? People felt it recently when
The internet was shut down.
People thought they were shut. They tried. People tried to use these VPNs.
Yeah.
Your phone heats up. You're sleeping and you wake up and the phone is too hot. You're like, what's up?
Right.
Come on. Crypto jacking is going on. Crypto mining is going on your phone. So you're helping somebody earn cryptocurrency on your hard-earned money. That's your device that you've donated freely. Somebody's using free compute power because you are assumingly trying to bypass regulations and use VPNs. So security is inconveniencing, but it's worth it. People don't want to use pins, those simple screen locks and patterns. I don't want my partner or my people to think I'm insecure. No, you're protecting them by having that security on your device, yeah? Falling for localized phishing. Recently, there was lots of messages going around. The old man in the heart has sent a big donation. Please click here to claim yours. How many people do you think could have fallen for this? Let me give you the math. As a cyber attacker or as a hacker, let's say a black hat or non-ethical hacker, all I need is to target 1 million people. If I targeted 1 million people and tricked them into paying $100, maybe not all the million people will do click. However, if I only go 10%, that's 100,000 people. 100,000 times $100. Is that $1 million?
Right.
Super rich. So many people are gullible because of these localized phishing scams. Because, like MacGyver mentioned, someone who is sending you a phishing link will disguise themselves as the real guy. You've been dying to get a promotion, then you get mail from office. There is this new thing now. For instance, we have this ad going on about a certain ED who needs to be recruited, and now a link goes around and says, please check out the requirements. Even that person who doesn't want to apply will just look it up and just curiously know what does it take to be the ED of this airline. Then before you know it, click. People are clicking before thinking. That's a very big problem. Falling for what? For these localized phishing scams. Things like weak passwords. I have a very simple tool that I usually use. A computer can crack a password in a matter of seconds. Some can be cracked instantly. We just don't have displays here. I would have tried. Passwords that can be cracked in milliseconds, in microseconds. So people use very weak passwords. They use passwords such as their partner's name, their pet's name, their child's name, their favorite hobby, their favorite team. Yeah? You're a Manchester United fan like me, the winners, you now put you as your team as a password. Someone who knows you will easily crack you.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, take a rest. Yeah, of course, limited recognition of social engineering attacks. Now, social engineering is by far one of the deadliest forms of cyber attack. Recent statistics show that up to 85% of cyber attacks are successful because of the efforts of social engineering. The effort of using a computer is simple. Like MacGyver mentioned, or like Kemi, people look for the information that they will now use to hack you or break you.
Right.
Where do you live? What phones do you use? What car do you drive? Where do you hang out? What do you eat? What social media are you on? When do you wake up? When do you post? Once I have all that information, that's the greatest work I will need as a hacker.
Right.
Now, hacking you will take me a little under a day. Once I have all the information I need. So people are really sluggish when it comes to recognizing this social engineering, and later on we'll see how best do we defend against it. So I hope I've ably shared how really or what the gaps there are that I have observed, and I see this a lot when I go to conduct trainings or when we conduct these classes at the academy here.
Thank you so much, Jerome. I want to stay with you for a second. You raised an important point around putting measures in place as individuals to ensure that you're navigating the internet safely, essentially. How does that play out in the real world for the ordinary internet user who isn't Kemi, for instance, who's an influencer and probably...
Her too. Me too. Me too.
And you and MacGyver, people who have technical knowledge, expertise, experience about the internet much further than the layman, for instance.
So you're wondering, how do we... What
are practical measures that you would advise the listeners or viewers
all right,
to adopt?
Let's roll back a bit to the gaps that we see, yeah? I'm really happy to say that all of you are attentive and focused on this conversation because, we all use devices, yeah? The average tech user right now has up to 4 devices, right? A smartphone, a laptop computer, maybe a laptop for office as well. You have a personal one, then maybe you have a desktop. Now, when we spring to the IoT, it gets worse. Some of your cars are computerized. Some of your, you have a smart TV. Some people have smart fridges. Some people have smart locks. smart cameras, and all. So all of these devices, they make our lives easy. But what will you do to ensure security? Number one, let's go to the basics. Use strong passwords. If you have time, go onto a site called Insecure Cameras, yeah? Insecam. And you will see, just go to insecam.org, I think.
Insecam?
Like insecure cameras, but shorten the word insecure. So Insecam camera, insecure cameras.
Okay.
You're going to view footage for free of people's live cameras. Sorry, guys, this is public information. It's not.
This is.
So what am I trying to do here? You know, when I just started my cybersecurity trainings or whatever in cybersecurity, I always told people that when you don't know cybersecurity, you're not paranoid. But the more security you get to know, the more paranoid you become. So, I'm sorry, guys, but this is the cost of your safety. So when you go to insecure cameras, you will get to the web and see thousands of cameras in different parts of the world, live footage. If unfortunately you see someone's shop or backyard or beachfront, that's on them. Now, why is that possible? Because when you buy these cameras and ship them from China, from wherever, and you use those cameras without changing the default credentials, that's how people are able to view those cameras of yours for free. First of all, create good passwords. A strong password must be at least 8 characters, but if you're more sober, then use 16 characters or even more. And now you may wonder, how do I come up with this password? Use a phrase. 2025 was the best day of was the best year in my life. Maybe in between you said this is for FB, this is for X, this is for Gmail. You see? How will someone crack that password? Once you've created that long password, now say for every I, I'm going to replace it with a 1. For every E, I'm going to put a 3. For every A, I'm going to put an @ sign. Trust me, somebody is going to struggle to hack that password. Number 1. Number 2, I talked about default passwords. Number 2, how much information do you share? I was excited when I saw somebody post about why do you find the need to display your children's pictures and talk about your children publicly? I mean, the digital square is now public space, right? When you post on social media, like MacGyver said, you don't know who, Kemi, you don't know who is looking out and for what reason they are watching after you, yeah?
Right.
So do not share too much information, and don't share if you don't have to share that information, because you just never know where that information is going to be used against you. It may be used to scam you, it may be used to blackmail you, or it may be used as ransom. Somebody knows where a child goes to school because you bragged about paying school fees there, and now your child is being held and you need to pay $10,000.
Right.
Yeah? Let's be more proactive. I talked about passwords, sharing information, because when you share less information, then you nip in the bud the idea of social engineering. People have less information, so they cannot socially engineer you.
Right.
For instance, if you don't know what kind of drink I enjoy to take, you would never come at me. You'd never get me at the right spot, because you're not going to get into a conversation with me. You're going to throw at me a gin, and I'm a whiskey guy. So I will know that you're up to something. So social engineering is managed by limiting the information that you share and being a bit cautious. Now, let's not be complacent. Let's not assume that by buying a device, we are now there when it comes to security. Those are just a few things, but overall, really, let's get some education on cybersecurity. Let's not take it for granted. Whether it's individually, there's lots of courses online, whether it's as an institution, as an organization, come and learn some cybersecurity, and especially at home, these little people need to learn cybersecurity, because they can be the ultimate access I need to get through to you. I really hope I've done justice to your question.
You've done more than justice to answering that question. Thank you so much. Kemi, moving on to you. In a similar vein, when it comes to digital well-being from a content creator perspective, why is it important to address both the creator and content consumer sides when discussing digital well-being?
Well, because we coexist on the space, you know. I mean, in fact, all of us on some level are creators. If you've ever posted anything, if you have a LinkedIn where you share what an honor it was to be in the other space, we're all creators. Right. On some levels, just that maybe some more than others. And then we're all consumers. Even the creator is a consumer. So we coexist in this space. The creator, you know, is churning out more, but also on the consumer part, if you think about yourself strictly as a consumer. Even if you're in Kamoli, okay, let's say for you in Kamoli 365 days a year, even there is a certain kind of influence you have as far as what is rewarded. How do you engage with content? The way you're engaging with content determines what we award. If majority of people are responding negatively to a certain issue, that actually creates a certain trend in how people are responding to that thing or not responding, so all of us have a part to play. And so because we all have a part to play and we are coexisting in that space, all of us, our well-being is affected in one way or the other, and we have to be really awake to that fact. For the creator, it may look like, so many things. It may look like even just that blurred line. Actually, Jerome talked about that blurred line between the personal and the public. It's something that's very important. We talk a lot about that with our Karma creators, because it can be difficult to know how to separate. We reward people who are super transparent and share all these things. Those are people we reward. You'll find those are people who have the biggest followings, who get the biggest brand deals, the people who show you, you will see inside their garden, you will go to their bedroom, you know where they keep their lip gloss, you know what is hanging in their bathroom. That is what we reward. And so that becomes commonplace. And yet ideally it shouldn't be. As a creator, it's really important for me to, I'm very conscious about how I post when I'm somewhere in that moment. A lot of those times I'll post it after the fact. Unless it's a certain kind of live something, in which case it's live, what are you going to do? But I'm really conscious that you can't be knowing where I'm running every day. Even on Strava, I hide my maps. Because you can know where I live, you know my routes, you know where I am at 5 a.m., where I'm running to, from, all of these things. So it's very important for us to think about our well-being. For the consumers, which is all of us, you guys, the doom scrolling is real. And doom scrolling is not just doom scrolling. It's really, it takes up your time, your mental energy.
Right. It psychologically rewires.
It steals from so many parts of your life quietly.
Yes.
It's not like a big violent explosion, just quiet.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of your time, takes a little bit of your attention from work, a little bit of your attention from your family, a little bit of, it just takes tiny little things from you until one day you're like, wait, why am I awake up to 3 a.m.?
Right.
Why am I always tired? Why is my mind consistently buzzing? Because you don't stop. At least an hour before bed, you should not be online. These are the facts, Your mind needs to calm down. And I feel like it's a good thing. Now we talk about it more. Now we talk about it a lot more. We're a little bit more conscious. And yet, even with that talking, you can talk and talk and talk. But the individual also has to take the initiative. You need to be intentional about what your social media time looks like. As a creator, that's really important to me. Recently, I was telling a friend of mine, because I took January off from social media, and there's another month in the year that I take the entire month off. And she was saying, what if you're at peak presence and everything? I was like, it's not the most important thing in my life. In my hierarchy of things, actually my work is not at the top.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's very much like a conscious decision that I write down and plan for, and say that this time I'm going to be away because 1, 2, 3 needs to happen for me to show up as myself in my relationships, in my friendships, in all the places that I occupy, because I don't occupy just one place, So I think it comes down to each of the players have to be. Man, you have to be mindful, man. I don't think we can't treat social media like vibes anymore. The creator has to be conscious about what they're putting out. The consumer, man, mind your algorithm. What are you searching? If you're always searching about gossip, the algorithm is going to give you exactly that.
Right.
That's exactly what the algorithm is going to give you, and it's going to spew it out endlessly. And so you have to be mindful about how you're consuming. Now there's those features that allow you to maybe only see content from the people you follow. Do that if that's what you need to do, so that you're not seeing a lot of random stuff that's just coming up here and there. And then even for the platform makers, there's such a big responsibility there. There is such a big and I don't know how we get to a place where the platforms also have more accountability around certain things. I don't know if we ever get there.
Do you think they're doing enough?
Mad. I don't know if we ever get there. Regulation?
Okay.
I guess it's a continuous process,
Right.
you know, because platforms have to be accountable about how certain things are being handled, you know, especially when it comes to children.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it comes to children,
100%.
because they just have so much access to. It's too much. It's too much. The young mind was not created for that bombarding.
Yeah.
You know, do you know that now more than ever we're seeing such a spike in speech delay, and a part of that is screen time?
That is insane. That's
speech
insane.
delay is at a level it's never been ever, and one of the important, and there are many considerations. One of the considerations is that it's screen time.
That's so
There is
interesting.
something in the brain that is rewiring,
Right.
you know, that is not allowing them to actively go out there and search and touch and learn the way
Right.
that they are meant to,
Yes.
and just like kind of mindlessly consume. And so there's just, we can't afford the literacy that Jerome is talking about. Man, it's not a luxury. For children, for adults, for organizations, we have to be woke about how we are putting out what we put out and how we are taking in what we take in.
Right.
Yeah, but in this case, you know, boundaries are very much freedom. You know, it can't be
100%.
boundless. That's just, it's madness.
Kemi, you've talked about the algorithm. Algorithm is king on the
Listen.
social media streets. It really is. Like you already mentioned, from a content creator perspective, it's almost like influencers or content creators are chasing an algorithm because they know they'll get further reach, maybe more followers, more likes, more comments, whatever, and maybe more endorsements as a result. You also mentioned something interesting. You were like, what we reward. I like that phrasing because it's true. It's what we reward. Like, the more out there somebody is, the more transparent is what we're calling it, somebody is,
Yeah.
the more people want to see, and
Yep.
the more the content creator feels the need to share. From an algorithm influence and social norm shaping standpoint, how are platform algorithms, I feel like you've already touched on this slightly, quietly shaping what young people believe is normal, successful, or desirable, and what risks does this create?
Well, if I know I kind of like skipped and went into that question earlier as well. So maybe what I will add, maybe I'll reiterate that it's a dangerous time.
It is.
To be a kid,
Yeah.
to be a parent.
It is.
Maybe dangerous is like, I don't want it to be very alarmist, but it's different.
Yeah.
And we have to adapt to this new way of living. And so the algorithm is determining for a lot of young people what is beautiful, what is successful. It's showing them that visibility is what is success, not necessarily work, but it's visibility, it's how many people like you and how many people, you know, are saying you're the one in this area and that area, like that's what, you know. And so it's here to stay. You know, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So young people are living in a time that is different, and it's I think it's causing a lot of them to isolate so much more, because I keep saying, like, us, okay, I didn't grow up in the village. I grew up in town, but we were in the flats. We were like chickens. We were just roaming around like chickens.
Yes,
There was never a time that I was really thinking, oh my God, I'm just unless it was time for Power Rangers.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
not time for Power Rangers. Yeah, I don't know what we're now seeing on TV. So it's so different for them now, because there's like a tab you can sit on and just be on it and just be on it.
Yes.
And that is rewiring so many things, like I said earlier. So there's a need for us to teach differently, to parent differently, even to friend differently, because for us, you know, the hope, of course, is to raise, you know, the kind of children that are, you know, contribute to their communities, you know, make the most of all these different resources, because make no mistake, social media also comes with many opportunities. So we want them to experience those things.
For sure.
But they have to know how to do that safely. You know, what kind of boundaries can we build around them so that they're not, you know, it's heartbreaking to see these things of catfish, and you're seeing kids. You're like, what? What?
I know,
Where?
what's going
These
on?
are children.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are children.
Yeah.
You know, some of them, okay, are above the legal adult age, but they're kids.
Yeah.
You guys 18.
Yeah.
Please. These are children.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's just like literal boundaries that we have to build. I'm glad that I'm hearing so many more parents saying that, man, for us, screen time is
Right.
For us, we don't even have screen time, or maybe we have an hour at the end of the week, and then the rest is reading time. This time, friends, this and this. Community has never been more important. I mean, human community. I don't think that the digital community can ever replace that. Human contact is really important. It's really important for us to talk to young people consistently. I really. Whatever communities you occupy, whether it's sports, faith communities, whatever, they need to be there talking to people, because screens have their limitations. There's just got to be a way we draw some lines around all of those things. And I think there's so many opportunities for like social media content creation and all of that. But even that, now we have to think about how do we now, okay, yes, people have that, someone has a talent, we're seeing people like, is it called iShow Speed? Young people like that, right?
Yeah.
And those are amazing opportunities for young people to like do phenomenal things. But is there a way that we can teach them how to do it properly? Like, oh guys, okay, so you have a talent for that. Maybe this is a program that we can take them through to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, so they can do it safely and not. The other day, a friend of mine told me that she randomly found that Hassan had started a YouTube channel and recorded a video and said, "You guys, we are here. We live in flat this in this block," and she was like, "What is happening?" And it's so easy. It's so easy. So the lines have to be drawn. We do have to create boundaries. Yeah.
Kemi, you raised very important issues there. Thank you so much. MacGyver, moving on to you. So there is Computer Misuse Amendment Act 2024. You'll explain further what it was amended from, but what are the key highlights we should look out for in the amended Computer Misuse Act, and what are the likely offences?
Firstly, I digress a bit. I think the issue of child protection is extremely important. And I'm so happy that UCC has really considered this aspect as a regulator. So I want you to know we are really taking it. The effects of the screen on a child are not just about creating antisocial behavior or delayed speech. It's reached a stage where children actually get into situations where they suffer from mental health.
Right.
And mental health is not talked about.
Right.
Because they seek validation from these social sites. When they do not get that validation, they do not feel
Important.
Right.
relevant.
Yes. Yeah.
And that it's just it's just a chain which leads onto so many effects. But anyway, to come back to the question, the legal regime in Uganda regarding information is actually quite sufficient. Yes, there's the Computer Misuse Act, the Amendment 2022. That's from the Computer Misuse Act of 2011. But there are so many other acts with regard to using of electronic media. You have the Electronic Transactions Act, you have access to information, you have data protection and privacy. So the legal regime in Uganda really is sufficient. But there are certain core components that this amendment looked at. One, hate speech. There's a lot of hate speech. I mean, you see that on social media. It's really something big. Two, unauthorized access. Spreading misinformation. It's even an offense now for you to obtain passwords and disclose them without consent. It's an offense. Spreading of information from and to children is an offense without consent.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's good to know.
Yes. And the penalties are really severe.
Okay.
Like, if you're a public servant now, you can face up to 10 years in jail.
Oh wow.
Yes. You spread hate speech. Your main focus is on spreading unsolicited information and all that. 7 years, you go in quite easy.
Okay.
Yes. Passwords and all that without consent. I don't know who you're doing it for. You get in. So it's not to say that the legal regime is not sufficient. It is sufficient. The issue is implementation. Are the courts aware of this? Yes, they are. So I think that's more or less where we are at. But the issue of the child owner, and I'm glad you've linked it to the law, because I mean, these children, they have such innocent minds. So you need stiffer penalties for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say, like from what Magaiva is saying, is that, and we talked about this, but like last year at the Content Moderation Symposium, about how the regulation, I mean, first, there's a duty of care on us as consumers, as creators, to find this information. Why haven't you read the Computer Misuse Act?
Right.
It's not that big.
Right.
You should know
No,
what's
yeah,
in it.
for
You should
sure.
know, because it not only protects you, and it also shows you how to be mindful in doing your work, and doing it legally. But also there is the aspect of, and because of that ignorance, we find ourselves with a problem of people also don't even know that when something happens to them, this is where you go.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We actually don't know these things,
Yeah.
and yet they are somewhere. So we have a responsibility definitely to find this information, and also just like for a continuous mainstreaming of this information, break it down, make it simple. You know, many people of course don't understand legalese and all of that, like break it down. Let the people know that when this happens to me on social media, I can go where? That's where I go. And I go.
Cami, do you think that it's because, especially in the content creation space, it's heavily underregulated?
Oh,
Like
yes.
anything goes, essentially.
You see, that's what I was telling you. You know, when we began this social media, it just kind of fell on us.
Right.
And there was no school for social media. We were just like, oh, I can just create some stuff. Cool, I'm gonna do that. It's why actually it was really important to us at Karma Digital, like to create a curriculum for creators that focuses on so many different aspects of things that we've experienced, you know. So anything from creator ethics to, okay, so now you have a talent, but how do you do it professionally?
Right.
Why don't you have contracts?
Exactly.
We don't make deals on WhatsApp.
Right.
Okay? And that's for both you and the client, by the way. Okay? You should have contracts. You should, you know, like these are not just, when you don't treat yourself as a company, as a business, you're always, and there's nothing wrong with being a freelancer. The problem is that sometimes when people hear the word freelancer, they treat it very relaxed.
Right.
You don't think that there's a need for you to have a structure and processes around what you do. And when you don't have one, you are susceptible to being taken advantage of. Even you yourself, you don't have standards.
Of course.
You don't know how to standardize and say, me, I don't work like this. Thank you, but no.
Right.
Right? So there's just, those gaps are there because it's a space that's still evolving.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we can see different, you know, players starting to make intentional steps towards making it more formal, organizing this work. It benefits everyone if this work is formal, you know, that you can identify a group and say, this is what we think, this is the space that we occupy, this is how, even when we are being regulated, right, the regulators know that these are the, you know, we can come to this organization and say, guys, what is your stand on point A and point B? You tell us your experiences so that we can regulate you mindfully and with the information that makes sense for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense. Magaiva, how do issues such as consent, data misuse, and digital surveillance affect trust in online platforms?
So, you know, when the first thing when we started this conversation, it was important for us to identify what is actually this personal information that we are talking about. That's a subject of this discussion. Now, when there are instances of traditional consent mediums or traditional consent apparatus failing, it creates a sense of mistrust from people. Someone will just freely give the information. They are not sure even if they have consented to giving that information, at what stage can they withdraw that consent?
Right.
You know, I've given it to you, but can I change my mind and withdraw that consent? So it's a trust element, you know? Of course, there's the issue now, you talked about surveillance. When there's surveillance, naturally, people feel I am being spied on. You don't trust me enough. So it creates an element of a lack of trust. That relationship, that bond has been broken. When you say surveillance, I am following you.
Right. It feels heavy.
It feels heavy.
Yeah.
It's like a load on your head.
Yeah.
You know. Of course, now for data misuse, that one is. We talked about phishing. Someone will completely impersonate you, understand what you're about, and spread that gospel. But the repercussions are on you. Your information could go out into different media, you know. Now, not every company is interested in you, Kemi, because, Kemi is a social media influencer. They're interested in the followers she has. I don't know if you've ever been online and seen posts by influential government people. And right under there, someone throws in an ad. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, it happens.
You know, buy pipes from Musisi and Company. And people someone is putting out their information. Because they're influential, someone follows that trend and builds on that. So it's created that kind of, that impasse. Now, there's the issue of trust in terms of, I give you my information. Issues of data retention. I have given you my information, Rebecca. How long are you keeping that information for? Okay? When you're done with that information, because these policies don't come out. In a lot of organizations, I mean, you have your company, there are no notices, there are no. So I have given you my information. For example, I've applied for a job. I'm done with the interview. What are you still doing with my information? I have not passed the interview. You know, there are no issues of rectification. I have given you my name. I mean, without attacking a government body, but you have recorded my names wrongly. You have not corrected my names. It creates an issue of trust. So it's a whole ecosystem around consent and trust between people. And this trust is not just from people and the relevant government bodies. No, this trust is us, our children, those around us, the community. Yeah.
MacGyver, I'm just sticking with you still.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll load 2 GB and then in 10 minutes, you've used 90%. 20 minutes, 100% of your GBs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where did they go? Like, where did
Yeah.
my GBs go?
Yeah.
So what legal protections exist to safeguard users' data? And where does personal responsibility still come into play?
You know, like I said earlier, the laws are there. The laws are there. Okay? Issues of implementation are also there. The aspect of consumer protection is also there. You know, I've suffered the same fate. Now I don't even know the difference in data bundles because they all expire at the same time.
Yes, I don't get it.
You know, 1 day and 24 hours.
3-day bundle.
Yeah, it's the same as 1 month.
Right.
So there's an aspect of consumer protection. And this should extend to the telco companies as well. You know, ultimately, a consumer is king. And that's one message we spread as the Commission. Without the consumer, we would not be there. The telecos would not be there. But secondly, understand that the use of so many applications on your phone contributes to the depletion of data.
Fair enough.
And we did the sensitization on SIM cards regionally. And that question was quite pertinent. It kept coming up. But you have someone, and all their apps are running. YouTube, Facebook, Facebook is okay, gone. Twitter, Snapchat. That's going to have an effect, a ripple effect on your data. But people don't want to accept that. So for data usage, there must also be responsible use on you as the person. Don't leave all your apps running. You don't need to. That contributes almost 85% to the depletion of your data. The other depletion, I'm not at liberty to. I suffer the same fate.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
you're speaking to me because
Yeah.
I have a very bad habit of not closing all my apps.
Exactly.
So, yes, very apt information
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Jerome, I want to come to you.
Go.
How can practical cybersecurity training and digital literacy help reduce everyday online threats, such as fraud, data misuse, and account compromise?
So fraud, there is two forms of fraud, yeah? And many of us have suffered these fraud. One, there is the financial, and then there is information, yeah? People want information, they want to steal that information. People also want to get your money,
Yes.
right? So financial fraud is a very, very big ball game to play, yeah? In fact, there is a report that's yet to be published. We did recently with FSDU on fraud in the financial sector. Oh my, the figures too astronomical. The police as well released reports recently. I think there was a recent figure of about 72 billion shillings lost to fraud. So yes,
That is crazy.
cybercrime. The figures associated with cybercrime or crime rate, cybersecurity related crime is almost equivalent to the third largest economy in the world after the US and China.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about the amount of money spent or invested in cybersecurity and the amount of money lost because of cybercrime.
Right.
Can you imagine how dangerous that is? What that means is there is thousands of Jeromes earning good salaries from doing cybersecurity work, while there is also thousands of hackers somewhere doing what we call cybercrime as a service. Somebody came and paid you $5,000 per week. Would you take the job? Can we?
I will not say anything.
It's against my value.
Here we
It's-
go.
Everybody has a
But you thought
price.
about it. But you thought about it.
Of course, there's always a pause. You're like,
You think about all the problems that you. Okay. So yes. Now, how do we fight? The question was, how do we deal with practically from?
Yes.
Now, first of all, for financial crime, we need to first of all be aware. Yeah, be aware of how gullible am I, so much that my money would easily go. Yeah. What business do you have responding to a call? And this happened. So interestingly, last week, when the internet was released, I was in office. I was taking my team through a training, and I received this call. Hello, my name is Manager Moses. I'm calling you from UCC. You need to do this and this with your line. I immediately put the phone on loudspeaker. My team didn't just, instead of listening, they decided to burst out into laughter. Of course, the girl was about to abuse me to go and do what? something. He was about to do that. So yes, it's about awareness. Because I'm educated,
Right.
I couldn't, just take advantage. So that's what we call a phishing call.
Right.
So through phishing, someone can do voice solicitation. Somebody calls, prompt you to insert some codes, and before you know it, kaboom, 300K, $1 million
That's
shillings is
so
gone.
crazy.
Now,
That's
there is
so
something that's
scary.
very common. If you travel a lot, there is a time. Do you know that impulsive, the pop-up that comes when you're withdrawing money
Yes.
and asks you to key in your PIN?
Yes.
If that pop-up finds you when you're just fresh out of sleep, there are very high chances you'll key in your password and think after, right?
Right.
So be very alert.
Okay.
And I'm very mad. Maybe you should do something with the telcos. Why do they keep sending us pop-ups to key in our pins to buy certain
That's a really good
bundles?
point.
Yeah. So if you are aware, you won't fall prey for those prompts or stuff. So that's how we should deal with the financial fraud. Now, for
Yeah.
this other fraud, information, data loss, look at things around data protection. MacGyver has mentioned clearly the available regulations. People don't know about the Data Protection and Data Privacy and Protection Act of Uganda,
Yeah.
2019. I like when he hinted about the right to be forgotten. Did you know that you have the right to be forgotten? You can just wake up, go to a certain entity X and tell them, hey, I think I'm done with your services and I want you to delete all my information from your systems. All they have is 14 days.
Oh, okay.
If after 14 days they've not deleted your information, you can file against them. Okay, unfortunately in Uganda you won't get that money. It
I
goes
was
to the
about to say.
consolidated fund. But our brothers across in Kenya are doing, I mean, people are reaping big. I have about 2-3 friends who sued. You know these loan apps?
Yeah.
When someone calls you on behalf of someone who took a loan.
Yeah.
2-3 people filed and they got about what, $3,000, $3,000 to $5,000 as rewards for
Oh,
misuse of the
wow.
data. So data misuse and account compromise. Now, account compromise is a very, very interesting one. Many people have suffered. Oh, my IG has been taken over. Oh, my WhatsApp, I've lost access to my WhatsApp. So, data misuse. First of all, how much data you're sharing? Yeah, and do you know what sensitive data is? One of the courses, one of the modules that I teach in cybersecurity for teams is how to handle sensitive data. So some people do not know how to classify. Even at organizational level, people do not know how to classify data. What is deemed as classified information or very sensitive, public. I think UCC's emails come out and then you're able to tell, okay, this is for public consumption,
Right.
this is for internal use.
Yes.
So people do not know how to do that at organizational level now.
Right.
Even as an individual, you
Yes.
should know, what does the whole world, what's the whole world's business knowing your firstborn's name? A toddler who is 3 months old. What is their business knowing where you had your date or your I mean, okay, so there are people, I don't know, in Kemi's world, maybe for influencers, for influencing sake, maybe it's useful to do, but there is information that is deemed critical that you shouldn't just share. So it's how much data that you put out there that then results into the compromise that we're talking about. Oftentimes your data is compromised because you don't know your rights as a data subject.
Yes.
And then even sometimes the processors or the custodians do not know how to manage your data. Unfortunately, and I think this is a work in progress, and I like the work that's being done by our regulators in Uganda to help people understand their issues around data protection. Out there, I recently traveled to a country in Europe where for every activity on your phone, there was a pop-up on data protection.
Oh.
They tell you, hey, we're about to do this and this is what is going to happen to your data. Yes, no. No, we're going to hold your data for only 7 days for as long as you're using this service, and after which we'll keep it for an extra 14 days. And if you don't, you see, there's some platforms that you log on to and in 6 months you're inactive. They tell you, okay, now we think you're no longer interested in our service, so we want to delete your data. We still don't have that in Uganda, and that's a lot of work that needs to be done. So
Yes.
issues around data compromise or data use misuse is two ways, both from the regulatory and from the individual level, and also it goes a long way in terms of knowing our rights and the regulations in place. Now, account compromise. Some people have accounts that they have no idea still exist.
Yeah, true.
Back in the day we had, I don't know, I see you guys are budding. Did you use a social media called MySpace?
Yes.
Yeah, MySpace. Maybe never used it, but
Okay.
I'm obviously aware of it.
You heard about it?
I was
Yeah.
aware of it, I didn't use it.
Legal zone. Some people used social media and then for some reason they became inactive and left. Just left the accounts redundant.
Right.
Now somebody will go and scrape the internet for information about you from those accounts that you've abandoned, hoping to reuse that information to access your current accounts. And lo and behold, many of you are very lazy. You want to use one password for Gmail, for X, for IG. Guilty as charged. I see some people here. So that's very, and that's what leads to account compromise. Yeah, people do not have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. All I need to do, yesterday I was teaching a class on password cracking. All I need to get is a password. Once I get the password, kaboom, I might as well get your email. Some of your emails are very easy to guess. First name, last name @gmail.com. Or your name and a couple of characters. Went to a certain circle, some were conducting a security assessment, and the whole team was instructed, use your phone number as your password. Can you imagine a financial institution? And these things are happening. So all of these teeny tiny things lead to account compromise. Now let's break it down. I want to fuse this a little bit with issues around data depletion. Yeah, some people have apps that they do not know are still in their phones. Now some people have devices that consume a lot of bandwidth. That's what people call data. It consumes a lot of bandwidth without their knowledge. So you load 2 GB and expect it to last you 3 days. Before you know it, 2 hours later, you're being warned that you're at 80%, and it's usually Airtel that gives you that 80% warning.
MTN
For
as
MTN,
well.
sometimes you'll just realize that you don't have a connection.
Actually,
Now,
yeah.
what happens usually in the background is there's what we call background apps. Yeah, some people use apps and leave them hanging, or leave them in tech terms we call it, you leave the app processing. Okay, you attempt to upload images, then you leave the app, and then the image upload continues in the background. Okay, you attempt to view a certain web page on your phone, and then you exit. Maybe you receive a phone call, and then you move on from that page onto something else. So that page continues processing. There's what you call cookies. I may not go into that because people are going to get very hooked. And then there's what you call cache memory. So the cache memory is that memory that once you visit a certain site, have you ever gone to your google.com or your Google homepage on your phone and it instantly appears even when you don't have internet? It's because some files have been downloaded locally onto your device such that when you come back, you can still view. But when you try to click something, maybe an error or that you don't have a connection, all of that data is downloaded to your device using what? Using your data that you loaded. Okay, so what we need to do is, first of all, discontinue, close all apps that you're not actively using, log out of accounts that you are not actively using, uninstall apps that you are not using. Now, about the data misuse or your personal data misuse, some people by uninstalling an app think now they do not have anything to do with that app anymore. Hell no. Go to the web, go to that site page, go to settings, delete account, come back to your phone and install the app. There you clean.
Okay.
But if you delete Facebook from your phone, you still have an account.
Right.
You see? And several other apps that some people just try out apps, log in with Google. Now they have an account. They feel the app has finished doing what they need to do. Then they uninstall the app, but their account still what?
Running.
Exists.
Right.
So these are some of the ways that we end up having our data misuse. Now let's get back to the issue of your data depletion and all of those things as we come to account compromise. Now, your data, first of all, I've talked about the background apps, the apps that are useless that are in your phone, VPNs that are not paid for. Yeah? So when you don't pay for something, you are the commodity. I think we are familiar with that phrase. Yeah. So some of us are using free VPNs, and these VPNs are taking advantage of us. Now, you might ask, what do these people need from me? Nobody cares about someone in Kasokoso. But because that person has a smartphone, there's aggregated use of compute power to do what we call things like crypto mining. Okay. That's why you find phones are hot, because processes are being run on multiple devices, including that person's device. Yeah, and that's how the phone heats up. Yeah. Besides that, there is other apps that are heavy and they need to keep running in the background. Some people have things like Spotify. Spotify runs in the background. That's why when you just turn it on, kaboom, you're already running. Things like Netflix. People watch a lot of these things on their phones. Social media, most of your social media runs in the background, including WhatsApp. Now, one hack for WhatsApp is go to your settings, disable automatic downloads, especially for people who mice on your mobile data. If you don't want your mobile data depleted very fast, go into your WhatsApp settings and disable all your social media. Disable automatic downloads of media, especially video and picture, such that you can only maybe download during your sessions on Wi-Fi and not on mobile data. Now that's one very easy hack that you can use to reduce your data depletion. Now, account compromise. Many of us, I already hinted, use the same password across all accounts, and many of us use the same email. So same email, same password for Gmail, for your office email, for your X account, for your LinkedIn, for your Twitter. If someone just gets one password and email, you're done. Okay? That's a very, very bad habit. We should discourage that. And then also issues around leaving accounts logged in. Okay? Some people leave their accounts logged in forever until your account provider, let's say, says, no, you've been logged in for too long, we want to log you out, so that we try and see if you can re-log in. You might not be the one using it. There they will have helped you, but many of us leave our accounts logged in on even multiple devices. Okay, so try not to do that. And one of your key saving graces is multi-factor authentication, because you log in, forget it. So what you do is, first of all, set up 2 or multi-factor authentication, so that if someone else is trying to reuse your account in whatever device you logged in, they cannot, because they don't have your phone with you. At the very least, if you can't use the numbers, use biometrics. So your biometrics might be a very good savior for you, because somebody cannot be you at your face or have your fingerprint, so that they can scan and get access. Now, those are the primary ways in which you can. Now, lastly, many of us have Google accounts, right? Go to your Google settings. In your Google security, now these are practical tips. Yes, practical tips. Go to your Google security. Look at how many devices, or in how many devices is your Google Mail logged in. You'll be shocked. Some of you are complaining that you're being followed, you're being tapped. You will be shocked at how many devices you are logged in. If you do not know, especially if you don't have multi-factor authentication. If you go to the Google settings, go through the correct procedures, you'll find that you are logged to a certain phone. Maybe you sold or gave out the phone, but your account is still active there. That person is trading exactly as you, and like MacGyver mentioned, if anything happened in your name, they'll come for you before they start investigating. Yeah, I think here you're guilty until proven
innocent.
Innocent. So take care, especially in that regard, and you will find yourself ensuring that your account is protected. And lastly, of course, change your password if possible every 90 days. It is not so much to ask. In the beginning, I said security is inconveniencing. And if you want to be safe, please allow swallow the bitter pill, yeah? And then you'll be much more secure. I hope I've done justice to your question.
You've done more than justice, as always. Jerome, still with you.
Yeah.
Since the advent of AI, to re-echo Kemi's phrasing, it's a scary time not only for children, but for all of us who are existing in this digital era. And we've all exclaimed how it's not going anywhere anytime soon, so we need to adapt. And you guys have very aptly and very skillfully explained various mechanisms around how that can be done. But we're living in a very scary time where we have deep fakes. Somebody can forge your voice almost identically. Like, it's a very scary period. If you could introduce one skills-based mindset on training early in education, what would have the biggest impact on online safety?
So, I think you're asking practically, or how might we safeguard ourselves from the effects or the impact of these sophisticated attacks?
Yes.
Now, we've been speaking about regulation. I'll again relate to our neighbors and fairly at wide. And I'm pulling around our neighbors, but I know also at UCC, there was a committee that was set up on AI, right? I need to learn more about the updates on the workarounds, but AI, just like tech. Kemi was earlier on speaking about how to manage kids and tech and all. Remember when we were younger, it was prohibited to carry a calculator to an exam. Now I have to set in my exam or in my questions when I'm examining my students, I'll tell them, please use AI. Make sure it's just not more than 20% of your work.
Right.
So what I'm trying to get at is it is inevitable that technology is going to become part and parcel of these kids' lives.
Yes.
If you have kids, I'm sure your 5-year-old knows things that you don't know because they're exposed to this tech. These guys are sophisticated. The tech is like a double-edged sword. It is enabling them, making them superstars, but also killing them at a fast rate.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when you look at their cognitive abilities. Now, let's come back to your question. AI, just like every other advanced tech right now, is running much faster, and this is a fact. Most technology and innovations run much faster ahead of regulation.
Right.
It is unfortunate, but that's the reality. Regulation most times comes much later.
Yes.
After the innovations, right? So now with AI, while we are still managing how to legislate around it or to regulate it, we need to implement a lot of awareness, a lot of trainings. I know UCC has a lot of programs coming up for training, and I think there is some programs around AI. Now, train as much as possible, and the best way to combat AI-based attacks is awareness on how to detect malicious or verification of sources, let's say. First, verify the source and even the media that you're consuming. I was happy to note the other day when there was a poster running around from the Ministry of Health that said there's going to be paternity tests. Is it DNA test or something? And people were so excited. Yay! But then Dr. Twine came out and said, no, guys, relax. It's, I think, sickle cell screening. So someone had skillfully edited that. Now imagine how far that had impacted. If I was a hacker, if some hacker was out there observing the trends, someone now knows who is in a bad relationship, who is raising kids that are not theirs, like a rumor I had of Snoop Dogg recently, who is going through hell in their families. Now all of that information has been put out there because of one deep fake or one fake ad that was put out. Now, jokes on the people who believed, and for those who were excited rightfully, now they've also been, it's now easy to, what we call it, blackmail them. Yeah. So first of all, scrutinize. There's a tool called Teen Eye. Tiny Eye or Teen Eye, something like that. It helps you verify an image for its source. On social media, especially, I'm a huge fan of X. On X, there's what we call community notes and grok. Just go under any post. If someone says this is a picture of the president welcoming a certain president to State House, just grok it. Just tag grok, and then grok will tell you, no, this is not a recent. Of course, grok may not be 100%, but let's educate ourselves about these attacks, AI-related attacks. They're quite sophisticated, actually. There is deepfakes. There is, of course, deepfakes takes the crown of it all, but people are doing a lot of impersonation. So someone can, through a deepfake, let's say, send you a video impersonating your sister or your partner, and they could lure you to do something that you shouldn't. Actually, some of these things have really become very fatal. Even in gaming, some games have, because of AI capabilities, some games have actually resulted in very adverse effects. So first of all, in order to protect ourselves and the people we love, one, let's analyze critically. What is this information? Where is it coming from? Verify it. That's one. Secondly, look at the sources. Where have I obtained this information from? Is it social media? I was talking about X, for instance. If it's on X, grok it, just tag grok. Grok will give you the context and a bit more information about what you need to know about that post. If it was previously posted by someone else, you will be told. If it is not a recent event, you will be told. There's been a rumor that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to come back to Manchester United. That wasn't true. He has issues wherever he is, but because you can get a bit more context, then you will learn. So AI, like I said, is a double-edged sword. Sometimes the hackers are using it to create sophisticated attacks, but we can also use it to our advantage in the case of social media. Thirdly, also look at where else has this information been shared. If it is information, let's say, about the change of a pope, and you're seeing it on social media, no, that is so big news. You'll need to find it as well on traditional media, and then other sources as well. Now, when it becomes personal, somebody is reaching out. For instance, I received an email inviting me for a fundraising dinner in the US. Like, So what I did is I found a contact there. I texted the number on WhatsApp. Instantly, I was told, no, that's a scam. Please don't click the link. So someone had impersonated them, put their real number. Everything was correct. Even the context of the information, but the link was the catch. So they thought if I clicked the link, they would have me. So because I'm a security guy, what I would do is, what I did, and please don't do this, don't practice this at home, only leave it for people who are the experts. So there's what we call sandboxing. I want to know where or how will this link behave. So when I got this link and call it executive, but I clicked it in a secure environment. This link was rerouting me to an OnlyFans page. Oh, wow. Rated X, please. So imagine this falls on a young child or youth, excited people who don't know what to do with themselves. So verify. So double check. When I gave an example earlier of me sharing with you guys a link about where to get more information about what I'm talking about, ask for my number, engage me. Most times if it's a bot or if it is a robot kind of attack, if it's an AI, it will not know. It will not respond in a human way, And most times a person will drop it and move on to another susceptible target. So I think that in a nutshell is what I'll do, but regulation very soon will come very, very highly handy in helping the masses to protect themselves, yes.
Thank you so much, Jerome. And in the interest of time, Kemi, I want to come to you quickly. I know as a content creator, there's a lot of pressure in terms of the kind of content that you want to put out and the balance that comes with the engagement that you're seeking out, the growth that you aspire to, and also putting out content that is responsible and conscious, right? What advice would you give fellow content creators and your audience on using influence responsibly in digital spaces?
First thing that comes to mind is the fact that pressure is in any workplace, right? So yeah, content creation, like any other workplace, has its pressures. And the challenge often is that social media is designed for a certain type of pressure. It's designed to pressure you to churn. Are you posting every day? Are you talking every day? Are you, what are you doing every single moment? Are people liking? Are they talking back? All of it, it's designed for pressure. And because it's designed for pressure, it's very easy to just respond to that. Oh my goodness, I need to stay relevant. I need people talking about me. I need to be liked. And, and it's just, and it goes and goes and goes. So if you don't pause, actually what we should normalize on social media is just to pause. Take a pause before you post that thing.
Yes.
Take a pause and think about what you're about to engage with.
Right.
Just pause.
Yeah.
If you can pause and think about that, whatever you're going to put out, it is an amazing. You even post till tomorrow, by the way. No one's going to die because you didn't post today. Let me tell you something. No one's going to die. So if we can just normalize stopping before we engage, it's a good thing. Whether it's a comment or a post you're about to make, whatever. That pause is really important. And also prioritizing community over virality. Your community has to come first before going viral. If you do it the other way around, it can only end in disasters, some type of disaster. Because it goes back to the thing I was saying earlier of ethics, creator ethics. You need to be ethical in how you create. You need to think constantly about the people that you are serving, right? Are there young people in your audiences? Are there people who come to you to get information about subject X or subject Y? It could be fashion, it could be medicine, it doesn't matter. Either way, you have a responsibility to verify before you put this stuff out. Similarly, even the people who are receiving it need to verify before they take it as some kind of absolute truth. So pressure exists, but your responsibility, that has to be top of mind. Like, who am I serving and how can I serve them well? Because I'll tell you this, you could be chasing viral day after day, and you'll do it, you'll go viral. It's not that you won't, but to create a sustainable something that is not about going viral every day. Creating a sustainable model where you can actually become a content creator professionally, where you can build communities that have trust, that would come to your events, that would, buy your products, whatever. That has a lot more to do with building trust, and that one is slow. It's not about viral today, whatever. It's people seeing you over and over again doing precisely what you said you would do, in the way that you do it, and that you're honest, and that even what you present, like, there are things you can't find me talking about. On what grounds am I talking about, I don't know, mothering? When did I become a mother? Why am I lying to you guys? Like, there's something, you can't just say yes to every brand collaboration because there's money. Why should I trust you in that area of life? Why? That responsibility has to come first before everything. The more no's you say, actually, more mindful no's you say, the more solid your community is. The people who are not interested, because not everyone in the whole world will be interested in you. You have to be targeting specific people. Those people who are interested in your message, in your content, they will trust you. And those are the people you'll grow with, and they'll attract people like them, as opposed to chasing clout. Chasing clout is so short-lived. A long-lasting brand, any business owner will tell you, even if they're not in content specifically, it's about trust. So have the responsibility to care for the end user, the end consumer of what you do, and you will build something worthwhile, pressures notwithstanding. Yeah.
Thank you, Kemi. MacGyver, what is one data protection mistake internet users make repeatedly that could be avoided with basic awareness?
Like we said earlier, Rebecca, data is the new gold. But equally, if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book. I'm being blunt. If you really want to hide something from an African, put it in a book. But now books, they're e-books now. And there's a lot of information there. But we noticed that people log on to different websites. They don't even read the terms and conditions. They quickly accept, yes, 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 yes. They don't read the cookie policies. That information is there. It's a quick yes, because they want to move to the next thing. It's tiring to read. Say, oh, the terms and conditions were too long. But by doing that, you're disclosing a lot of your information already just by clicking yes. And you've consented. You can't retract, you know? So that's a very, very critical. It's a big problem. But I don't want to stop on one. I want to give you at least 3. Secondly, there is the issue of passwords, very poor passwords. There's no multi-factor authentication. I think he had talked about that earlier. So it's easy to hack into passwords. Policies and within organizations don't really inform subjects about their rights. So people just provide information out there. So in a nutshell, those are the 3 I would really come up with. So the responsibility must fall on you as an individual.
Okay, now, in closing, this is a question that goes to all the panelists in the interest of time because we're running out. Who ultimately carries the greatest responsibility for building a safer internet? The government, platforms, creators, educators, or users, and why? Or is it all of them?
That feels like an all of them to me, because we each have a role we play. We coexist in this space. We all use it, we all create things on it, we all consume things, we all utilize the tools that it has given us to ease our lives and our work and all of these things. And so we definitely all have a responsibility. I will say one thing I think a lot about in, like, when we look at different, like all these different stakeholders, is like a lot of the time what's at the top is going to trickle down. So there's definitely a big responsibility on, like, our regulators and the government to set up certain things that trickle down to us. That's always important. It's the reason why we have leadership structures to begin with. And I feel like even those things they contribute to the culture that the people on the ground, ground, the way we interpret and we act, very much draws, in very many ways, it draws from what comes from above us. And so we have to be responsible, all of us. We have to, I think that the safe, we've talked so much and meaningfully about what you need to do, things you need to consider. And it's not about being the most hidden guy, because I mean, you might be like me and you work in a public space. It's not about being the most hidden, but it's about being informed and being intentional. You may not have, you may not be able to be in constant kamoli all the time. Your work requires you to be on these platforms. But if you are informed, then you can be more conscious about how you protect yourself and the people around you. The responsibilities, it's definitely all of us. I feel, yeah.
Do you share the same sentiment, Magdalena?
Yeah. I think the relationship is a web-based relationship, because you see, when a spider is making a web, all the little nodes add up. Yeah. But should that web be destroyed, then it creates a domino effect right across. Right. So I feel we all have a role to play because of this thing, but failure to handle it properly by one party creates repercussions all the way. So it's really that kind of relationship.
Okay. And Jerome, you is sharing the same sentiment, or you have a differing view?
Well, in security, there's 3 elements that at all times must be fused together: the people, the processes, and technology. Okay, so I would say personal responsibility should always lead the way, because if there is a culture, then people are going to be vigilant, people are going to be more responsible. So yes, the responsibility must start with the people, and then the technology. By tech, I mean players like us, the security experts, and the people who know these things, because the responsibility is theirs to educate and also come through for people when they are affected by these cyber criminals. And third, when we talk about the processes, I'm talking about the regulator and the different regulations in place. Now, we should be careful not to over-regulate to stifle or
Yes.
suppress innovation
Yes.
and free expression, because otherwise, in the midst of trying to enforce our responsibility and ensure security, we might again cause adverse outcomes instead to come out. So yes, people first, each one of us. Remember when I said we are secure as a neighbor? So it's first our responsibility, and then the people who know, the experts, and then the regulator. But at the end, it must be a fusion. Thank you.
Okay. Now, from each one of you, I'm just interested in a closing takeaway. In one sentence, what's the single smartest action our audience can take today to stay safe online? I'll start with Jerome, and we'll work our way to MacGyver.
From my background, one thing that I've gotten to know is, and that I want to share is, security can be very inconveniencing. So in a bid to stay safer online, as is the case with the Safer Internet Day like today, please do not mind the inconvenience. Do the basics right, and you'll always stay fairly secure online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kemi?
I think it's just be an extension of what he has said. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
Stay woke about what you need to do to stay safe. One of the things that as he was talking, I thought about on Instagram, there's this thing where you say, add yours. And it asks for so many things. It will say your height, the town you live in, the street, the color that is your best, your child's. And I see people feeling it, and I've talked about it before. And people are so excited to be part of a trend and to be part of a. But once bitten, twice shy. Me who has been hacked. By the people who have been hacked, you won't find us in that business. We read everything 16 times and call people and before we act. So you guys.
Blessing in disguise.
Read it 16 times if you need to. Talk to whoever you need to. No one's going to die if you don't respond. Wait. I wait for everything. There is nothing for me that I need to click that link right now. No, nope, absolutely not. So wait.
MacGyver?
Yeah, I'm going to third wheel as well. I think one, security begins at home. But also, people should ask questions. It's okay to want to know. It's okay to want to know this information which is out there. Because ultimately, there's no monopoly on knowledge. The more you know, the safer you are.
And I think with that, we've arrived at the closing of the Safer Internet podcast edition. Thank you very much to my panelists for imparting this wisdom and knowledge to our viewers and our audience. I'm sure they're very, very grateful, because there's a lot of things that I've been learning as I've been sitting here listening to you. So from MacGyver, Kemi, and Jerome, and myself, Rebecca, the moderator, we are done. Thank you.